Yo, what's going on, guys? Cordy here. We just got the 1019 update. There's a lot of stuff to get into. We have a lot of skins. We have a lot of hero changes, item changes as well. So let's go and get into the patch and see what all has been changed. So for the skins, we have 9 skins being added. There's a lot of the OG skins. So we have the new one that we have is gonna be Steel. This Steel skin right here is really good skin, by the way. This is gonna be a heroic one. So it's gonna have like special effects. They did tease a video on it. It's on their channel. But we had the heroic Steel skin. And then the other ones are going to be the remakes. So these are already in the original Paragon, and they're just bringing back over. So these are going to be the rare class, the rare type. So we got the Murdoch skin, we got Twin Blast, Grux, Sparrow, Gideon, the Chimera, Wukong, and Narbash. So all these skins are going to be coming out, and this is a limited time event. Sale period after 1019 before 1116 update. So we get a month. We get about a month for this these skins to purchase them. I'm hoping that the next patch they do, that they give us a little bit more skins. I think we're gonna be getting an end of the month update. So if we do get an end of the month update, that they give us some more skins to be able to purchase. But yeah, if you guys want to buy this skin, it is a limited time event, so make sure you guys. I didn't see this. Narbash Pumpkin Bash skin will be given at login after 1019 update before. Okay, so we're getting the Narbash for free. Awesome. That's pretty cool. I like that skin too. I was going to get that one as well. I was going to get that one, Narbash, and the Steel one. So cool. We're getting this one for free if you just log in. Hell yeah, dude. Okay, so now up to the hero bounds. You see, like, look at the hero and item notifications. We have a lot of buffs, nerfs, and a lot of item changes. Okay, so hero balance changes. We got Drongo. So the Q bomb going to increase the cooldown. Uranium rounds, his E skill going to decrease the max health damage. So that's good. And they're decreasing his movement speed. The Shrapnel Bazooka, his ultimate skill, decrease the power scaling and increase the cooldown, decrease the base damage. So a nice little nerf there to Drongo. Drongo's pretty good. Drongo's a really good character, so pretty good nerf there. Revenant recently got buffed, and I think they're gonna nerf him again, from what it looks like. So we're decreasing his right click skill. The last shot, the damage adjusted on the shot. The Q skill is gonna decrease the attack range, decrease radius, decrease the power scaling, increase the cooldown on the ultimate. We're decreasing the health, 100% damage adjusted. Enemy root duration, so they're gonna be rooted less in the ult. Gold gain is getting decreased. Man, they are nerfing him. And then enemy dimension duration adjusted. It was 68, now it's 5 to 7. So yeah, this is all nerfs for Rev. So all nerfs for Drongo, all nerfs for Rev. Wow. So Xena, they are going to be decreasing the scaling on her dash, or her main damage ability. Decrease the base damage. Decreasing the damage on her ultimate, the base damage on the ultimate. AoE collision damage, decreasing that as well. Dang. AoE collision power scale, the physical power scaling is going to be decreased as well. And then increasing the cooldown. Wow. So Xena got nerfed hard too. Adele. This is probably like, Adele's probably the main one that I wanted to see a nerf, because she's been kind of strong for a while now. The Q skill, increase the cooldown of the Q. The third hit damage on her E skill. They're decreasing damage a little bit. The ultimate, increasing the ultimate from 140 to 120 to 140 130 now. And then damage, this is the main one right here. Damage based on target's additional health adjusted. It was 0.15 to 0.17, now it's 0.12 to 0.14. Still gonna be doing damage. Yeah, she's still gonna be doing damage. This seems like a pretty small nerf, man. 10 seconds on the cooldown and a little bit more damage on the decreasing damage on the ultimate. Looks like it seems like a pretty small nerf to Adele. Narbash, marching anthem, the Q scale, attack speed, movement speed adjusted. So 0.15 to 0.35 now it's 0.1 to 0.3. So a little bit of attack speed and movement speed adjusted there. And then the health recovery, 14 to 46. Now it's 14 to 38. So Narbash got a nerf. Muriel, I think Muriel, we've been seeing a lot of Muriel. She's been played a lot in attorneys, and then just in casuals as well. So the scaling on the her right click, this shield magical power scaling, 0.85 to 0.75. So lower shield, lower the movement speed. Oh wait, no, hold on. 0.08 to 0.2. Okay, so overall a nerf on the right click, and then increasing the mana. Then the glowing shield, the E skill, scaling down the magical power 0.6 to 0.5, so just making her shields be a little bit less effective. Aurora, the ultimate, the skill area adjusted 875, now it's gonna be 550. So the explosion radius is gonna be shorter or smaller. And then the second hit skill area adjusted is gonna be smaller as well. Morgish, a lot of people wanted Morgish nerfs for Morgish. I wasn't really too crazy about Morgish nerfs. I think her late game is pretty strong. Let's see what they did with her. Soul Collection, the right skill is 1.08. Now it's going to be 1. So 100% scaling. Base damage adjusted 60 to 180. Now 50 to 70. 170. The mana adjusted, increase more mana. Okay, so that was her right click. The E skill, her like dashing ability pretty much. Decrease the magical scaling. Decrease the base damage. Increase the cooldown. And decrease the mana. Yeah, decrease the mana a little bit. And decrease the health recovery. Wow, they did a lot to this. And damage adjusted. 0.22 to 0.3, so they nerfed the damage as well. So that was a lot for her E skill. And now the main thing is her ultimate. Ultimate late game is nuts. Magical power scaling at 1.85 is like the highest damaging ability in the game. For a magical damage dealer, it's nuts. So now it's 1.55. I'll pair that with all your other passives on your ultimate. Like, she did so much damage late game. Base damage was 140-22. Now it's 110 and 190. And then increasing the cooldown. Okay. And then the stacking is going to be decreased. 0.04. It was 0.04 to 0.2. Now it's 0.03 to 0.15. So decreasing her overall damage on her ult. Yeah, pretty decent nerf. Basically just decreasing her damage overall. Like, across the board, her damage got nerfed. So let's read the dev comments here. From the mid-game onwards, due to high magical power coefficient, so scaling, high power scaling, and Hextall R-skill stacks, Morgish's power became excessively high. Additionally, due to the sustainability of Horde skill, it was very challenging for enemies to deal with. We slightly reduced Morgish's power by adjusting overall damage and sustainability. Yeah. She, late game, like mid to late game, she just was nuts. If you could play around that early game, though, to keep her behind and not let her get those stacks, she wasn't that big of a threat. But if she was able to get online and get going, then late game, yeah, she was a big problem. Murdoch. So target check the Q skill, the lock on. Power scaling 0.06, now it's 0.065. The E skill decreased the power, the physical power. Projectile speed was 4,600, now it's 4,300 projectile speed. So it's gonna be a little bit slower to get. And then increasing the mana cost by 0.3 or by 3. This was a lot. I feel like this was definitely due to the tourneys and how people were playing Murdoch. Because like in like casuals and things like that, you're not really seeing a lot of people spamming the Murdoch ability. But in like competitive, he was spamming it a lot. It was really annoying to look at and deal with. So yeah, they're nerfing the E skill and giving a little bit of buff on the Q skill. Sparrow. So Sparrow, the right click is getting an increase. Interesting. Increase for the mana, the Q skill, for increasing the base damage. The scaling is getting increased as well. The E skill, her steroid, decreasing the mana. Cooldown was 18 to 16, now it's 18 to 14. And then her ultimate cooldown to 180, 90 to 70. Interesting they're buffing Sparrow. I think Sparrow was like a top 3 ranger. Drongo, Rev, and Sparrow like just the go-tos. So interesting that they're giving her a buff. Wow. From the mid game onwards, there was a heavy reliance on the Hell of Arrows, the R skill, and the ultimate. We adjusted overall damage output for more diverse skill combos. Yeah, late game the right click kind of falls off, but you have a really good steroid and you have your ultimate. Yeah, Sparrow's gonna be up there now. I think Sparrow's gonna be pretty good. Countess. See what they do with the Mage Assassins. Spin Slash, increase the scaling. The E skill, the teleport, increasing the magical scaling. The ultimate, decreasing the cooldown, so 110 to 80, now 105 to 75 late game. And then increasing the magical power scaling on the ultimate as well. To clearly showcase the assassin hero's role, we made adjustments to overall damage output. Yeah, for assassins, they need to do damage. Like, I know people at one point they were complaining that they're doing too much damage. I think assassins need to be able to do that kind of damage to survive in this kind of game. Crunch. What are they doing to crunch? Crunch, swing, the Q skill, main damaging ability, 0.8, 0.9 scaling, increase, crunch encore is ultimate. Cooldown adjusted 25 to 15, now 20 seconds, 12 seconds. Late game? Dude, mid to late game, 16 and 12 seconds on the ultimate? Crazy they're getting this guy buffed. I think he's good. Crazy that they're buffing him. Sereth, increasing the right click on the scaling. Okay. Grim, what do they do to Grim? Dude, okay, this is my problem with these devs. This is my problem with the balancer team. And they're going to once a month now, which is great. I like that idea. But before they're buffing, they're nerfing. Like Grim got nerfed 3 or 4 times in a row until this recent nerf. And then now they're probably gonna buff him because he's fucking ass. So they're probably gonna buff Grim again. They need to like buff or nerf, let it sit for a while, and then come back to it and adjust. Grim is now like currently just one of the worst mids in the game. Let's see what they did to him. Deflector shield, the right click, decreasing the cooldown so you can get that more up. The shield, the Q skill, increasing the scaling. Okay, so more damage. The projectile speed is increased, so it's gonna be doing. It's gonna hit the target quicker. Projectile gravity value adjusted, so the speed and the gravity, I guess. I don't understand the gravity part, but essentially it's going to get to the target quicker. So wherever you're going to hit, it's going to get there faster. Suppression mode, decreasing the mana. The ultimate, increasing the ultimate. So more power scaling on the ultimate. Decreasing the base damage and decreasing the mana. So more power scaling, decreasing the base damage, but more power you do, the better is in the long run. And then, so this is only on the Q skill, which is good. Having the ultimate get there quicker might have been a problem, but I like this small little change on one ability to make his, like, you know, main damage ability better. Yeah, let's see what the devs say here. To increase contribution to mid to late game fights, we improve the usability of the main skill displacement blast, including the area speed and overall damage output. Okay. Yeah, so just made his Q better. I gotta try this out and see how much more. I don't remember what it used to be, but I know currently it's terrible. He is like really, really bad. All right, Kari. This is another person they keep buffing and nerfing, buffing and nerfing. Kari. So the right click, the Kari projectile damage adjusted, increasing the base damage, increasing the projectile damage. The brand base damage has been increased as well, increasing the scaling. The brand, so they're buffing the right click. Good. The Q skill, basic attack power adjusted 15 to 27. Now it's 10 and 21. Oh, because they nerfed that. They nerfed the base damage, but they increasing the scaling, and then the ultimate cooldown adjusted 115 to 95. Now 100 to 90. So lowering the cooldown, so making her a little bit more damage heavy. With the right click, and then getting some more items, a little bit more damage scaling. Richter, is this our first like Richter buff or nerf? I think this is, yeah, because Richter came out and they didn't do a patch. Electric shock, the Q skills, the silence and the slow duration. So we're increasing it to 1.8, so 1.8 silence, pretty good. Cooldown 11 to 9, now it's 10 to 8, so just getting a buff on his Q skill. To assist allies a bit more efficiently. Or just with the silence duration, the cooldown of electric shock. Cool. Nice little buff there for Richter. Another mage assassin. Phantom. Summon the Phantom, the Q skill. Her wolves that you deck around in a line. The scaling is 0.7, now it's 0.85. The mana cost is going to get lowered. So nice little buff there. The E skill, the one that all the wolves dancing around her, increasing the scaling by 0.5. And then the ultimate cooldown 100 to 70, now 90 to 70. So just making her a little bit stronger early on. Okay, so it looks like that's all the hero and balance changes. I don't know why they love Sparrow. I think Sparrow was good. I think the community is going to really like the Mortgage nerfs. And I think Adele still might be pretty good. But that is the hero balances. Now we're going to, let's see, ranged hero base stat changes. Ranged hero base stat changes. I don't think they've ever done anything like this. I don't think they've done anything with the base damage on like a class. This might be the first time. And I like this. Level 1 power. So they're it looks like all the rangers are starting with lower level 1 power. Their base stats are going to be lower. Physical power increases with level adjusted. So when you level up, you're going to be getting more power. So the later game you get, the more impactful you are as a carry. Early game, I like this. Early game, you should not be hitting as hard. Early game damage is too good for rangers, so I really like this change. Drongo, Reb, Twumlash, Sparrow, and Murdoch. Notice that Wraith isn't in here because he is magical. He's a caster. He's not a ranger. They need to put him in the caster category. Okay, that's cool though. Early game rangers are gonna be doing less damage, basic attack wise, and then the later the game goes, they're scaling better than they were previously. I want to know what the math is on this, like if it's better late game or if it's the same. Dev comments. Adjusted the range attack base heroes by lowering their base physical power and increasing their power growth rate according to the hero level. The early game effectiveness of range attack base heroes slightly decreased, but we expect no significant changes from mid to late game in terms of the current stats. Okay, so it should be around the same base stats is what they're saying when you like get to that mid to late game. Notes regarding the balance of ranged attack heroes. While it's true that ranged attack based heroes have an advantage against melee heroes, preventing ranged attack based heroes from entering the solo lane is impossible. I like that they're addressing the solo lane issue. That's awesome. Additionally, over time, teams with melee heroes can feel more advantageous in combat if they're purchasing core items. Agreed, but there's a newer community. The community is new. They're not really MOBA experienced. I completely agree, but it's educating is the problem there. However, the difference in growth that occurs once you can gradually inflate, eventually influencing the outcome of the entire game. That's why we don't just judge based on hero attack styles or simple win rate statistics. We consider live indicators, various situational indicators, and redesign it based on those factors. We'll continue to monitor and adjust persistently in the future. I like that though. I like that they're adjusting one of those issues. I always say it's better to have a tank in the solo lane. A lot of the casual players like to go the range damage route, and it's understandable because like if you go against it when you're melee, it's a pain in the ass, and you get behind and farm. But if you're a really good player, you can get through that early issue and then be more impactful in team fights and late game team fights. It's just the early part is a problem for a lot of the newer players to bridge into that. So I like that. That might, I don't know if it's gonna keep people away from that lane, but it'll make it a little bit easier to not like die so easily in that lane. Okay, so item balance changes. Destroyer Dagger, Nightmare. So it looks like we're getting some healing buffs to 40%. So the overall item is 40%. Now they're just, whenever you buy straight into it, you're gonna get that healing reduction right off the bat. Sturdy Combat Suit. This is the other anti-heal item as well for tanks. So 30% now is gonna be 40% off the bat. Sage's Whip. Let's see. Sage's Whip is gonna giving. Ooh, Sage's Whip is getting 15 pin. Oh, but they're also increasing the gold. 15 pin. If you need anti-heal, like this would be really good to get early on. 15 pin early on is really strong. 90 power is not bad. 15 pin is pretty good. 2,800 gold, 300 more gold. Might be more enticing with the 15 pin. Might be more enticing. Some other like mid item here. High-end armor. This item is mainly for like physical. If they have a lot of physical, you go high-end armor. This is what this item is designed for. So before it was reducing physical attacks, basic attacks, and physical skills by 15%. Now it's going to be reducing by 20%. And then we're giving more health, less health regen, but more overall health, 100 more health, and decreasing the gold by 2,000 to 2,800. So decreasing the gold by 100. Not bad. This is a pretty decent item if there's a lot of physical damage on the enemy team. This is a really good item to go into. So we got Guardian Helen, the anti-crit item. So before we're reducing the crit by 30%, now it's 40%, decreasing it by 40% now, and the stats increasing the physical defense by 70 or 270, sorry. So 20 more physical defense and 5% more CDR. It's a really good item to counter crit. The price though, this is worth it though. This is gonna be worth it. For 2,700, you're getting 20 more defense, you're getting 5 more CDR, and you're decreasing the crit rate by 10% more. This is a really good item, and this will be 2,700 gold. It was really cheap before, 23.75, but now 2,700 gold. This is your go-to. If they have crit, build this item to counter. It's gonna be a really good item. We could possibly see a shift in the hunter meta, the ranger meta. And like at a competitive level, casuals probably won't matter too much, but at a competitive level, with this item being more effective, 10 CDR and more defense, reducing 40% crit, this could be we could probably not see crit anymore at a higher level. Berserker's Helm, decrease attackers' attack speed by 5, it slows them by 5. Now it's gonna be slow them by 6% for 4 seconds. Nice little buff there for Berserker's Helm. More slow and longer duration. By the way, if you guys are getting the gist of what this patch is, this is a anti-ranger patch, by the way. For any of my tanks out there that enjoy playing solo and being tanky, this is a anti-ranger patch. Rangers are gonna suck, dude. They're decreasing the early game power. You're getting the anti-heal is gonna be better. The tanky stats, the physical defense has been increased, the anti-crits, the slows, the swamp cloak. I mean, even swamp cloak. What's happening with this guy? Oh, what? They're changing it to physical defense. Swamp cloak before magical defense 60, 500 health, 10 CDR. Now it's 50 physical, 300 health, 10 CDR, decreasing the gold as well. And then the passive, it's like if you're near somebody with the passive, it's an AoE slow. To provide a range attack base heroes with an option to consider purchasing this item, and they receive movement speed buff from items or support heroes. We adjusted the effects stats. Oh, related to Berserker's Helm in Swamp Cloak. To provide range attack based heroes with the option to consider. I think they might have missed up on this text. You don't want range attack heroes to buy this item. I think they kind of missed up on the wording on this text. But these items are to counter range attack heroes and to slow them. So Swamp Cloak this is a fuck ADC patch, by the way. I like it. I'm all for it, man. I love my tanks. I don't like playing tanks, but I love having tanks. I don't like the idea of rangers running rampant everywhere. But yeah, interesting. The energizing macaroon, lowering the gold by 50 gold, and this item is just kind of really weird. It's really just like a late game purchase it if you have gold or something. The Plaza Whip, this is physical damage equal to 30% of nearby. Now it's be 40%, and then it goes into Vamp Sword, so it's 50% to nearby. Now it's be 60%. What are we doing with the stats? Anything changing? We're gonna get a little bit more health. Okay, so a little buff to Vamp Sword. Great Sword Hurricane. I like this item. It has really great cooldowns, but it's not best. Let's see what they do here. Decrease enemy physical defense by 5% now, and then increase the hero's physical defense by 6 for every 6 seconds. Every time physical damage is dealt to the enemy hero, stacks up 7 times. So if you're in there, it could be decreasing, and you're getting a lot of stacks. 60 or 6 at 7 stacks, and it lasts for 6 seconds. Might be something to look at. Star's Grace, increasing the crowd control immunity by 1 second more, and then lower 30-second cooldown. I don't know if this really matters because your cooldown on your ultimate, it's only on your ultimate. Like whose ultimate late game as a support is getting 30 seconds. Mini Moda, what are we doing here? Decreasing the health by 50 but getting 10 CDR. Okay. That's it. So adding 10 CDR to make it more enticing to build. Flood Storm. So a successful basic attack or skill attack on enemy hero receiving damage from the enemy hero increase the hero's movement speed by 4%. For 5 seconds, so they're decreasing it to 2 seconds now. And that is the change. They're decreasing it by 2 seconds. Mainly, the only really person that's building this is Rev. It's really the only person that uses it effectively. So a little bit less movement speed there on Rev. Dakima Cannon, I was expecting this to be nerfed. 2,400 gold is super cheap. Now it's going to be 2,600 gold. Originally designed for melee heroes, but the increased purchase of range attack based heroes, we adjusted the price. Yeah, it was super cheap for ranged heroes. This has like power, cooldown, and percent pen. More designed for like your assassin warriors. But yeah, it was super cheap. So we're seeing a lot of carries get it. Spirit's armor getting nerfed again, I'm sure. Decreasing movement speed by 1% more. It's really that passive. They keep like. They just got to get rid of the movement speed, I think. That passive is really the issue. Whenever you're trying to get Dobe on that passive. But with all the other slow items, might not be that enticing anymore. Takima Energy Reflux. Before it was 350, now it's 450. Oh, come on, guys. We deemed it a high value of its price, therefore we're considering fairness with other items, adjusted the price. It's tough because like there's not a lot of early mage items that you go into. This one allows you to get some potions, and like have sustained mana. With 450 gold, you're only gonna get one potion. This might not be worth anymore. We might see like a different start for mages. Item reworks, Ring of Protection. This is a like tier 1 item. It looks like. Okay, that is all the item reworks. I like it. Again, this is a anti-lifesteal and anti-physical ranged heroes. This patch right now feels like it's a warrior or like a tank patch. So this, I like this. So that is all the items, and now let's get into karma balance changes. Pain, top of the leaderboard, top of the karmas. What we got with Pain, man? Damage adjusted 95 to 690. Now it's 70 to 580, so a little bit less damage overall. Pain is really strong. There's a lot of other counters to it. Going like Purge or going Protection just counters out Pain. With the nerf, I don't think we're going to be seeing Pain anymore. I think Protection is going to be the way to go for the backliners to not deal with Pain. Recovery 85 to 578. Now it's 65 to 490. And then mana 620 to 704. 180 to 690. So a little bit nerf on the health recovery. I still think this might be pretty good for supports. Give them some other options, right? There's not really a whole lot of other options for support because you have to go scout ahead, which are going to be increasing the ward time. Constellation decreasing the cooldown by 10, and the passive adjusted from 7 now it's 8. So the Constellation, that's the one where you you get more power. You get 30% more power, physical and magical, for 7 seconds, honestly for 8 seconds. Okay, might be maybe enticing. Now that Pain's not an option, possibly we could look to go into that. Courage, let's see, decreasing the cooldown to 170, and then increasing the duration to 7 seconds. Courage is going to be the attack speed one and movement speed, so you get like 45% attack speed and like 30% movement speed or something like that. So decreasing the cooldown and increasing the duration. Demoralization, decreasing the cooldown by 10 seconds and increasing the duration by 5 seconds. Demoralization, that's the like negate your defense pretty much. And then weaken is the same thing as demoralization, but for magical, or for damage dealers, so decreasing their magical and damage dealing. So there's the Pain recovery and scout ahead, and then buffing the other items. But yeah, so that's gonna be. I don't think we're gonna be seeing Pain anymore, guys. I think a lot of people in the casual community, they're tired of saying Pain. With this, like, we'll probably still see people running Pain, but it won't be as impactful. Just go like Protection. Go Protection or Purge, and you won't have to deal with Pain anymore. They'll just counter that. All right, system added improved. Spooktacular Halloween Festival theme applied. We're getting the new Halloween map. So excited to be playing that. And then some other bug fixes here. But yeah, that is the patch. I think it's a great patch. I like the direction they're going to. They They made some hero balance changes. I want some more skins. That I will say. The skins they brought are just remakes, except for the steel skin. So more skins would be better. Hopefully we get more skins. But yeah, most of the hero balance changes I'm cool with. I like it. And then the base stats, I like this. I've been preaching this for a while now. The early damage for heroes or for ranged heroes are pretty strong. So them nerfing their early damage but increasing their late game potential makes it so where you need to farm a little bit more. You can't be that effective in the lane and in the solo lane as well. In the dual lane and solo lane, you can't be that impactful early on. So you won't be getting, you know, as a support, you won't be getting hit pretty hard. So I like that change. And then the item changes just kind of make it, they made it more stacked for the, you know, anti-heal and physical defense. They've stacked it more, even giving physical defense a little bit, another extra item to build into. The tanks, another extra item they wanted to build into. So, and then a little bit touch on the warriors and a few other items here and there. But I think overall it was a great patch. Let me know what you guys think. We'll be live on the new patches. The patch goes live Thursday, so we'll be live Thursday playing some games, testing out stuff. Also, the podcast is going to be happening Thursday night. We'll be breaking down the patch notes even more with me, Eco, and Wolfie. We're doing that podcast, and then we'll put it on YouTube as well. That's it for the video. Let me know what you think about the patch, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.